play against Barcelona at home, and obviously the Premier League season is not over yet. So yeah, there is still a chance, and we definitely gonna fight for it.
Player of the Year for you there, Virgil van Dijk. With just 20 goals conceded, Mario, is he the most key man from either of these two teams in the title race?
Oh yeah, definitely, because if you look at the movement that Liverpool needed at the time, I think that the timing was perfect to bring him across, because that was the biggest gap that they needed to fill, and he filled it in a way that was even better than they were looking for, because you want just a good centre half that maybe helps you stop conceding goals, but he brought more to the team. He brought his leadership, his calmness, just the way he takes this interview on, and I just off screen I was telling Righty, if you look in his eyes, you could see that something happened to them, that they had a little shake-up. But away from that, he still brought the calmness and the way he talked about it. And of course, the belief they have, he knows himself too. You come to the Premier League, the only thing that you really want to win, and what all the Liverpool fans want, is the title. So his main focus will definitely be on saying, like, forget about the Champions League now. I got to focus on this game coming on, and then I pick the other one up after it.
Absolutely.
Newcastle have been strong at home. I think 6 wins in the last 7, and Jose Perez has been really impressive for them, a new partnership with Solomon Rondon. But against the likes of Van Dijk, it's going to be a tough game.
It will, and I saw him. He seemed to get injured in the Brighton game after scoring a fantastic goal. But then again, you watch Brighton, and they gave him so much time and space, and Newcastle took full advantage, which they won't get. They won't get against Liverpool, because, like Mario says, and rightly, Liverpool are going to be very, very up for the game. They know now that this is it. This is probably it. They have to do something, because the Liverpool players in that dressing room will be looking at the Leicester game, and they'll be looking at thinking that they could cause an upset, especially when you look at the margins in which Manchester City beat Burnley. It's close. Maybe that's the last bit of luck they've got, and they know that they have to do their job, Liverpool. So yes, Newcastle at home, and they're safe, and there's a lot of buzz around Rafa and Stein and all the stuff that goes on with Newcastle. But I just think that with Liverpool and the quality that they've got and the intensity that they now have, with their admittance from the Champions League, I think it's just a bridge too far, miles too far for them.
One thing they don't have from the Champions League is Naby Keita, who went off in Barcelona. How much does that impact?
I mean, just for him as a player, because now he's going to miss the African nations, so that's probably a big disappointment, because if you're also looking at that, this kid has, so many key things that's going for him. You're going after the title, you're focusing on the Champions League, and now you lose your African nation, and that's just, any player like even us, you always want to represent your country. But just away for that for the team, and him also is playing in the Liverpool side now that he got himself into, he became a crucial player now, and that's why it's going to be a big loss for them. But they have a big enough squad, and that should be able to cope with a player being injured like that.
Henderson could come in with his little experience. He isn't the same kind of player as Naby Keita, which we'll see a lot more from Naby as time goes on. But someone like Henderson is a more than capable replacement, especially in a game like this.
Okay, well, let's look at things then from a Newcastle point of view. Liverpool's opponents on Saturday. Their manager is, of course, Rafa Benitez, the man who delivered Liverpool's last golden moment, the Istanbul final in 2005. Now, though, he could be set to derail their long-awaited Premier League title. Let's hear from Rafa.
Yeah, I was talking with Lee Charnley this week, and we will let you know as soon as we have more news. At the moment, it's just we have had another talk, and then we continue talking. No, really, I didn't have too much time because we were preparing this game, and I know how important it is for everyone. So I wanted to do things in the same way that I was doing for every single game. So it's not that I'm doing more or less preparing this game, and I was not thinking about that. I know that it's the last home game of the season, but still I am positive that we are talking, and everybody knows which is my idea. No, I would like to see this club growing and growing and going when I think that they deserve to be.
Rafa Benitez, much loved figure still in Liverpool, massively popular on Tyneside. A lot of concern, Mario, that this could actually prove to be his final appearance at home as a Newcastle manager.
Yeah, but I think also if you look at the mindset from Benitez, he's also very smart, because the more he brings the focus to himself in the crucial moment what's going on, the less pressure is on his team. And I think the great managers are very good at that, because you make yourself more the focal point, you make yourself more the center of attention. That makes your team perform in a way that you take the pressure pressure away from them.
Right.
If you look at how they succeeded and how they moved forward, they were looking for, you know, like how could we take the pressure off? They have Rondon, Perez, Almiron came on, and Almiron was the key player that they spent so much money on. And when I actually met Perez a couple of weeks ago, and he made a really good point. He said, look, we already were under pressure, us two, Rondon and Perez, by performing. He said, but now having another player that people have to focus on is so much better for us, because now you got to worry about 3 instead of 2. And he said, that gives me more opportunities. Look what happened to him for the last couple of games. He's been scoring. He can't even stop scoring anymore. Right. So it's beautiful seeing that, you know, like I sent him a message and he just smelled all the smileys back, so saying like, yeah, you know, because he got injured, like Righty said. So I hope for him that he can keep on playing, and I'm sure that Benitez, he wants to win this game. I cannot imagine him not wanting to win this game. Come on.
5 goals in 3 games now for José Perez, and it's the fact that Almiron's arrived. Is that what it is that's taking pressure off?
Well, I think that Almiron's arrived as well. He's got someone like Rondon who's in the box as well as a focal point. But what's happening is he's getting himself in and around close to Rondon, and he's got that capability anyway in respects of ability. You know, he's tricky, can be tricky around the box. He's got great pace, and now you're looking at Newcastle. You're getting so many people in the box now, you're getting crosses into the box. Like I say, you've got a focal point with Rondon, and then when Rondon's in and around, this is a fantastic goal. But like I said, Brighton were terrible. The amount of space they gave them, but you can't take anything away from Newcastle.
You score like that when you're injured, it's not a bad thing, right? and then because that was kind of funny when I spoke to him, he's very intelligent. Very intelligent the way he plays, and the way when I was talking to him, he was very calm. So that means that mostly when you see a player at that age and the way they perform, you can see it where the energy levels are. When the energy level is really low, you know this kid is sure about what he's doing.
He's got 5 goals in 3. Newcastle at home have only been defeated once in their last 7. It's not just the likes of Brighton who've come away from St James's with nothing. Man City, of course, famously went there at the end of January and got beaten. So this is a proper side. Without
a doubt. They're very organised, because you know that they're going to be organised being a Rafa Benitez team. And like I say, it's so unfortunate for him that Almiron got injured when he did get injured, because he's the one that really gets them up the field quick, and they can then break with pace. And defensively, like I say, they're going to be organised, but they are coming up against a Liverpool side that have to have it. So they're going to have to be right on their game, because any mistakes will be exploited, and that is what Liverpool are waiting for.
It's going to be late as well, this game. I think it kicks off at 7:45 on Saturday night, UK time, which should give it a real buzz. I mean, St James's is always an amazing ground.
The thing with St James's Park, with everything what's going on with the owner, with the manager, they still get such an amazing noise there. It's an amazing place to play, especially
Going to be late as well, this game. I think it kicks off at 7:45 on Saturday night, UK time, which should give it a real buzz. I mean, St James's is always an amazing ground.
The thing with St James's Park, with everything what's going on with the owner, with the manager, they still get such an amazing noise there. It's an amazing place to play, especially